faithfulness of Adonai endures forever. Hodu l'Adonai ki tov ki le'olam ki le'olam chasto Yomarna Yisrael ki le'olam chasto Yomeruna Beit Aharon ki le'olam chasto Yomeruna Yirei Adonai ki le'olam chasto Baruch haba b'shem Adonai berachnuchem mi-beit Adonai Eliata ve'odecha Elohai arom memecha Hodu l'Adonai ki tov ki le'olam chasto.
Page 474, we continue with our Yizkor service. Adonai ma adam v'tida'ehu. Adonai, what are we that you have regard for us? What are we that you are mindful of us? We are like a breath, our days are as a passing shadow. We come and go like grass which in the morning shoots up renewed, and in the evening fades and withers. You cause us to revert to dust, saying, Return, O mortal creatures. Would that we were wise, that we understood where we are going. For when we die, we carry nothing away. Our glory does not accompany us. Mark the wholehearted and behold the upright. They shall have peace. Adonai, you redeem the soul of your servants, and none who trust in you shall be desolate. Page 476, we read together. A Psalm of David. Adonai is my shepherd, I lack nothing. God makes me lie down in green pastures, leads me to water in places of repose. God renews my life. God guides me in right paths as befits God's name. Though I walk through a valley of deepest darkness, I fear no harm, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You have spread a table before me in full view of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My drink is abundant. Only goodness and steadfast love shall pursue me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of Adonai for many long years.
Esa enai el heharim me'ayin yavo Esri me'im Adonai Osei shamayim va'aretz al yiten amot raglecha al yanum shomerecha Hine lo yanum velo yishan Hine lo yanum velo yishan Shomer Yisrael Adonai shomerecha Adonai tzilecha Al yad yeminecha Al yad yeminecha Adonai yishmarecha michora nafshecha, Adonai yishmor seitecha, uvoecha, me'ata v'ad olam. Together, I turn my eyes to the mountains. From where will my help come? My help comes from Adonai, maker of heaven and earth. God will not let your foot give way. Your guardian will not slumber. See, the guardian of Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps. Adonai is your guardian. Adonai is your protection at your right hand. By day the sun will not strike you, nor the moon by night. Adonai will guard you from all harm.
God will guard your life.
Adonai will guard your going and coming, now and forever. Page 578. Shviti Adonai lenegdi tamid, ki mimini balemot, lachen samach libi, vayagel kevodi, af besari shkon lavetach, af besari shkon lavetach, ki lo tazov nafshi li shol, lo titen chasidcha lirot shachat, todi'eni orach chaim, tzeva samachot et panecha, ne'imot b'mincha, netzach, ne'imot b'mincha, netzach. Together. I have mindful of Adonai's presence. God is at my right hand. I shall never be shaken. So my heart rejoices, my whole being exalts, and my body rests secure. For you will not abandon me to Sheol, or let your faithful ones see the pit. You will teach me the path of life. In your presence is perfect joy, delights that ever in your right hand.
I grew up with a family Seder. In my youngest days, I remember it being at my Bobby and Nanny's house. Somehow, my grandfather's desk magically turned into a table that seated 20. Did you have that table in your house? My parents still have one too. I think we used the Maxwell House Haggadah, but I don't remember much of it because it was just about being together. That's all I needed at that age. But at some point, the Seder shifted to our house. My mother, who is to this day a phenomenal cook, would prepare for weeks making lists and homemade briskets and matzo ball and chicken soup and delicious kosher for Passover desserts, and of course gefilte fish from Zabar's with a little carrot garnish on top. We continued to use the Maxwell House Haggadah. My father would lead, though my grandfather would like to direct things from the side. My Bobby, Harold Penkin, was not the easiest person, but Seder was always his moment to shine. He belted out tunes, and to this day, if you attend a Seder at our house, we still chant the Kiddush like he did. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Borei Peri Hagafen, like it was a Broadway show. He would fill his glass with Manischewitz and a spritz of club soda, and he would finish every single one of those 4 cups, plus a few extra for good measure, I think. When we found the afikomen, my Bobby had a tradition of taking a bite of the matzah and then putting the rest of it in his pocket like a good luck charm to carry him throughout the year. And when he died, we actually found matzah crumbs in many of his dress jackets. When we welcomed Elijah, he filled Elijah's cup to the brim, And after I opened the door, he would shake the table with his knee so I couldn't see it, yelling, "Come quick, Elijah is drinking." And when I was young, I truly believed Elijah was there slurping our Manischewitz every year. But the best moment, and the one that I always looked forward to, was truly when we came to the end of the Seder, because he would sing songs for at least a half an hour. And he would do it the way that he had learned from his grandfather. And he would bang the table and spill the wine and shake the glasses, and my mother was always worried that those leaves in the center of the table were going to give out at any moment due to his enthusiastic pounding. First there was Adirhu, Yivnei Beso Bekorov, Ashkenazic, mind you, followed by a very exuberant Echad Miodea, Echad Aniodea, and he would get faster and faster as he went. And then we always ended with Chad Gadya in the original Aramaic, Dizvan, Dizvan Ababi Trezuze. Did you grow up with that too? I remember how my brother and I would burst into laughter. You know, the kind where you know you're not supposed to be laughing at someone, but you can't control yourself. Well, that's what would happen, and one of us would have to leave the table eventually. But as we got older, we actually turned and we loved this singing. We waited for it. We banged along and sang with gusto with him. And when Bobby passed, Aaron and I continued the tradition with my father. And when Aaron passed, my father and I still sing a song or two at the end of the Seder in Harold's traditional style. And whenever I'm at Seder or lead a Seder, Harold is always with me, and his joy and love of Passover comes out through me. My friend, Rabbi Michael Pont, shared a beautiful teaching from his teacher, Rabbi Neil Gilman, who wrote the book, The Death of Death. Rabbi Gilman pointed to the end of the song Chad Gadya. There are so many silly versions, but it's a really serious song about the cycle of death. The goat, the cat, the dog, the ox, the butcher. And it culminates. Then came the Holy One, blessed be God, and slew the angel of death. That is a really strange and curious moment for sure. What are we meant to learn? Does this mean that God puts death to death? And if we are created in the image of God, can we too put death to death? Can we put an end to death? Certainly not physically. The death of our bodies is a natural part of life. But if we consider it for a moment, there are ways in which we will keep people alive, even long after they have left us. When we sing their songs, or their words come out of our mouths, when we live their values or make their recipes, when we think fondly of sweet moments together with a smile, or tell others about their lives and who they were, in some ways, this is our divine work of overcoming death. And 4 times a year we come and sit together, and we cry, and we remember. And perhaps, even if for a little while, we hold them close and tell them how much we love them and miss them. In the car home last night, I started singing my Bobby's songs to my son, because it's time for him to roll his eyes at his crazy mother bellowing in Hebrew, and for him to learn these songs so that he can make his own children roll their eyes at him when he sings them at Seder as an adult, and continues the tradition that began at least 6 generations before him. And as we drove home singing together last night, I'm sure that my Bobby was in the back seat singing along with us. Chag Sameach.
There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light. Long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining, ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But but the stars that light up the darkest night. These are the lights that guide us as we live our days. These are the ways we remember. We remember as we live our days. These are the ways we remember. We remember Yesh Kochavim Sha'oram Magia Artsa Rak Asher Hem Atzmam Avdu Ve'enam Yesh Anashim Shaziv Zichram Meir Ka'asher Hem Atzmam Enam Od Bitocheinu Orot Ele Hamavikim Becheshkat halayil, Heim shemarim la'adam, Et haderech, Heim shemarim la'adam, Et haderech, as we live our days. These are the ways we remember. We remember as we live our days. These are the ways we remember. We remember.
Page 580. We remember the names of those who have died since last Passover and this one. Les Adler, Howard Burson, Joel Brandt, Betty Hassing Katsikas, Alan Darish, Leonard Dim, Louis Elbert, Michael Ellman, Fred Feldman, Philip Fire, Stephen Finkelstein, Gary Gleitman, Alan Goldberg, Paul Goldfarb, Hillary Goldstein, Heather Barry Gottlieb, Hillary Gross, Norman Gross, Sandra Grossman, Todd Hames, Gloria Hand, Margaret Johnston, Shirley Cooper-Smith, Leslie Lesser, Alberta Levine, Denny Lustig, Ina Mayer, Michael Miller, Judith Mogul, Philip Nadrich, Carolyn O'Brien, Wendy Penensky, Matthew Penkin, Jerry Perlman, Alan Pecor, Marjorie Price, Eileen Rauschwerger, Charlie Rigo Jr., Elliot Reiter, Dr. Ira E. Ross, Gloria Russin, Shirley Salkin, Eleanor Faye Sampson, Barbara Schechter, Jerry Schultz, Brian Schwartz, Sid Schulman, Shirley Siegel, Colleen Syatt, Ann Silver, Deborah Sinsky, Howard Soloff, Pauline Strakowski, Alan Tatkow, Rebecca Ann Triano, Francis Viola, Linda Weinstein, Erwin Zigman. May all of their memories be a blessing. On page 580, we continue silently through page 581 with the Yizkor prayer. page 582.
מלא רחמים, שוכן במרומים, המצא מנוחה נכונה, תחת כנפי השכינה, עם קרושים וטהורים, כזוהר הרקיע מזהירים, לנשמות יקירנו שהלכו לעולמם, בעל הרחמים יסתירם בסתר כנפיו לעולמים, ויצרור בצרור החיים את נשמתם. אדוני הוא נחלתם, ינוחו בשלום על משכבם, ונאמר Amen.
Fully compassionate God on high, to our loved ones who have entered eternity, grant clear and certain rest with you in the lofty heights of the sacred and pure, whose brightness shines like the very glow of heaven. Source of mercy, forever enfold them in the embrace of your wings. Secure their souls in eternity. Adonai, they are yours. They will rest in peace. Amen. Page 586, we remain standing for Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. Page 599. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. If you're here remembering a loved one and we say their name, we invite you to rise and to remain standing until we all join in rising for the mourner's Kaddish at the end. This morning, we remember one whose family is currently in the 7-day mourning period of Shiva, Leslie Adler, husband of Carol Adler, mother of Alyssa Goldstein and Jason Adler, and the father-in-law to Richard Goldstein. He was grandfather to Joshua and Reed. And we also remember one whose family is in the 30-day mourning period of Shloshim, Gloria Russin. And if you are remembering someone who has passed away in the last year, or someone who was killed in Israel, we invite you to rise. We recall those who died in this week, whose yahrzeit falls this week. Dr. Julian Altenhouse, Murray Ehrman, Ruth Oster, Gloria Bagel, Joel Brandt, Rabbi Harry A. Cole, Norma Davis, Rose Deutsch, Anita Diamond, May Dickov, Emmanuel Dublin, Irving Falk, Harry Feynman, Henry Ferber, Albert Gerber, Rose Gladstein, Esther Goldberg, Marjorie Golden, Rebecca Sarah Goodman Dubner, Sidney Gordon, Jack Gorlick, Stanley Gottfried, Sam Graydon, Philip Green, Rose Adler Gross, Harriet Hames, Beryl Kaplan, Harry Kornblue, David Kramer, Stella Kravitz, Arlene Kernit, Ida Labovitz, Irving Lefazan, Seal Leifer, Gertrude Lieberman, Abraham Mandelbaum, Max Moskowitz, Brooke Hope Noodleman, Joseph Orenstein, Herbert Penkin, Judy Perlman, Muriel Klein Rabstein, Lena Radler, Henry Reese, Max Rittenberg, Lorraine Roche, Michael Roquito, Lorraine A. Rosenberg, Helen Russin, Rose Sachs, Anna Salzhauer, Morton Salmon, Selma Schreiber, Jerry Schultz, Martin Silverman, Mary Sokol, Deborah Strasser, Hyman Trencher, Paul Waxelbaum, Yetta Weinberg, and Nathan Yerman. Zichronam Livracha, may those who have touched our lives continue to bless us through the beauty of their memory. On page 598, we rise now, if you are able, for the words of the mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal, Yitgadash, Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma Tivarach Hirute, Yamlich Malchute, Bechaye Chon Uvyome Chon, Uvchaye Dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala Uvisman Kariv Yimeru, Amen. Yehe Shemei Rabbah Mevarach Le'olam Olamei Almaya, Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh V'yittadar V'yithaleh V'yithalal Shemei Dekudshah Barichu Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata Tushbechata V'nechemata Ta'amiran B'alma V'yimeru Amen. Yehe Shalom Rabba Min Shemaya V'chayim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Yimru, Amen. Oseh Shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru, Amen. May the source of peace send peace to those who mourn and comfort to those who are bereaved, as together we say.
Amen. Oseh Shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh Shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru. Amen. We conclude our service on the bottom of page 653, and please join and sing with me, Eli, Eli, both in Hebrew and in English. Eli, Eli, shelo yigamer le'olam, hachol v'hayam, rishvu shel hamayim, berach hashamayim, tefilat adam, hachol v'hayam, rishvu shel hamayim, berach hashamayim, tefilat adam. O God, my God, I pray that these things never end. The sand and the sea, the rush of the waters, the crash of the heavens, the prayer of the heart, the sand and the sea, the rush of the waters, the crash of the heavens, the prayer of the heart.
As we come in blessing, so too we leave one another in blessing, and I invite you, if you're with someone you can grab hold of or put your hands on your heart. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, may you be blessed, may you be safe. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka, may you be luminous, may you be loved. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom, may you be joyous, may you be healthy, may you be whole. Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach.